What is going on? We are about to get it poppin' in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What is going on? Happy Garbage Eve day, FETTERBEEF. We're about to watch a meltdown of magnanimous proportion, so it should be great. Excited for tomorrow. I am prepared to have my grundle tickled from the balloon knot to the base of the bag, and it should be fantastic. Looking forward to it. Should be great. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming in. Everything's dumb. The world's on fire. Let's choose subservience. The demons are running amok. The scrumbles are scurrying, and everything is on fire. FETTERBEEF is currently upside down in a cave underneath a steel mill in Pennsylvania, where he lives, while his wife is puppeting him from a computer on the other side of the state. But don't worry, guys, because some celebrity chick that who cares is like, he's so cute. Vote for FETTERBEEF. He's so cute. Excuse me, Carrie Garbington? Whom, literally whom are you looking at that you're saying that this person is cute? Also, literally whom is out there of a person's cuteness? They're appealing to the lowest common denominator, people who can be persuaded who to choose to rule over them because of their cuteness. elect her husband. He's cute. Shut up. These demons, the demons are literally oot and a boot. They are on the prowl, Jabron James. What is literally occurring out there? How is anybody even taking these people seriously? Like, literally, FETTERBEEF is like, what? I don't even know how any person could be like, yeah, he's cute. Cute? What? What are you looking at? I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Just saying, he's so cute, guys. He's so cute over his wife's husband. Oh, no. What is wrong with the planet? So thank you for being here. Appreciate you coming in. I'm wearing a literally no shirt because literally no to FETTERBEEF. And I certainly hope that all human persons of Los Estados Unidos wake up tomorrow and say literally no on FETTERBEEF. You know what I mean? No for more demons. Because I think it's very clear what is on the ballot tomorrow, and they like to say all of these demon things because they're demons and they're collecting their good boy points out in the demon world. So that's always great. But really, it's just quite troubling that people are being persuaded by these people, because this is the situation, I think. And, this is my opinion. Don't care. Don't chirp me. Don't at me. Could care less. Because this is what I think is going on around the literal planet of actual Earth, specifically here in America, is that the establishment line, the demons delivering the message to sub-demons who are then pushing it down to their demon minions so they can all spread their demonry around the population, are doing one thing and one thing only. They are collecting their good boy points so that they can continue to thrive. Because let it be known, okay? The vast majority of people get their information from a few sources: television, newspapers, social media, books, podcasts, the internet, and that's it, right? That's about it. That's everything. And the last place is person-to-person, hand-to-hand distribution. All of the books, all of the podcast systems, for the most part, not all of them, here you are listening to this, but the vast majority of them, the ones that get artificially elevated, distributed, marketed, advertised, pushed everywhere else, all the radio stations, all the TV channels, all of those places are run by the darkness for the most part. They are all financially beholden to their masters and the puppets, and they are just puppets who have their strings pulled, knowing that if they can rise to some level of prominence, it will be because they collected enough good boy points. And if they stop collecting the aforementioned good boy points, they get chewed up, spit out, and purged into non-existence where they once resided. Because these people are trying to do one thing and one thing only, and that is do what they need to do so that the target is not on them. I don't mean the actual target. I don't mean a handheld protection device target. I mean the target of the demons that run the operation, that are trying to purge the world and control everybody's everything in perpetuity forever until the end of time. You know who they are. So it's like, if you're in Hollywood, if you're on television, if you're in sports, and you have a brand deal with Nike or one of these mega corporations that engages in all types of demonry around the world, LeBron James, pardon me. Sorry about that. I coughed up a garbage ball. Excuse me. If you're employed and beholden to LeBron James, if you're employed and beholden to the NBA or the NFL or the MLB or some master that puppeteers you, that controls your life, you have to choose whether or not you're going to sacrifice your career or your popularity or the bag to push something that you really believe, which means the opinions of these people are largely controlled by the dark entities, aka demons, that run the planet and are the reason that so many things are bad. They're the reason that you walk down the aisle at Walmart and you get fed garbage. They're the reason that the gas is $5 a gallon. They're the reason that there's a massive financial shift every 5 to 10 years where they steal every asset that you've got and then make you beg for more. And all of these people that are underneath them get their stock artificially raised by collecting good boy points and pushing the narrative. And they get rewarded with fame. They get rewarded with fortune. They get rewarded with debauchery and whatever they want at whatever given time. So long as they mindlessly push the establishment line exactly as they tell them. And then once they're in, it's like the mafia. Once you do something for the mafia, it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. Once you get in bed with them, they will take you out. Because the big mafia, the real mafia, the mafia that's above even the mafia, those are the people that are running the world. Those are the people that control these people. Because Hollywood is bought and paid for and sold up and down the river. That's why they get the kids in there early. That's why Disney, that's why they get the kids in there early. They bring them in early and they say, do you want fame and fortune and wealth? All you have to do is sell your soul for the rest of time. And if you don't, we'll Britney Spears you. And if you don't, we'll Kanye you. And if you don't, we'll Kyrie Irving you. Here's an example out in the public. Watch. It doesn't matter how rich you are, how popular you are, how ubiquitous you are in the marketplace, how much money you got. You're never free. You're under our foot. You'll shut your mouth or you'll recite our lines until you die, and they will purge you into nothingness where you belong. And what you're witnessing with all these Hollywood garbage merchants is they're just reciting the necessary lines to collect their good boy points and so that they can keep securing the bag. Rob Reiner, Kathy Griffin, all these dumpster merchants that are just delivering garbage upon garbage. All these people get their stock artificially raised so that they can distribute more of the establishment line so they can collect more good boy points and live rich. But when they meet their maker, I would wager that that decision will not bode well for them, as the darkness that lives inside them as a result of selling out not only their own soul, but the people that come before, that live at the same time as them and future generations, I believe will likely weigh heavy on them once all the money and all the fame and all the fake adoration fades away. And people have this way, especially in Hollywood. Remember that these are actors. They have a way of putting on a nice smiley face while they suffer inside. There's numerous examples throughout history of people who've put on a nice smiley, shiny face and been suffering on the inside. And that's why I think you see people that are mentally just not with it, that put on this facade like they're happy and living the dream, but the true reality, the true nature of their existence is not what it seems. So all of these actors that are mindlessly pushing the establishment line, they're just waving the white flag of the truth to all their puppet masters. They're saying, "Hey, demons, come get me. I'm willing to sell it. Who's the highest bidder? Give me the movie deal. Give me the brand deal. Give me the spotlight. Give me the announcer seat. Give me the elevated views online. Give me the daily show appearance. Give me the morning show appearance. Give me the radio spot. Give me the airplay. Give me the distribution. Give me the financing. Give me the backing. Give me the investments. Give me the opportunities. Give me the women or give me the men. Give me all the things. Invite me to the parties where the demons lurk. I'm willing to sell out, and I'll do it at the expense of everything I got forever. Knowing that once you're in bed with the mob, that's it. There's no turning back from that. But they're so sad inside. Bad upbringing, bad family life, substance abuse, alcohol abuse, you name it. Easily manipulated, easily willing to sell their soul down the river to the highest bidder. And these are the people, these are our intellectual betters that are informing us on how we need to vote. Do you think Billie Eyelash wakes up in the morning and thinks about that thinks about governance, that thinks about what it means for inflation? Does anybody think that Billie Eyelash wakes up in the morning and wonders why eggs are more expensive? Does anybody think that Billie Eyelash knows anything about anything? No. Billie Eyelash knows how to be sad and make sad music for sad people. She barely has a grip on her own life, yet she's going to sit there clearly sunk in a sunken, sad, dark place and be like, vote for FETTERBEEF. Good job, guys. But they think that you're so stupid and easily manipulated that you'll see Billie Eyelash and you'll be like, got it, beef's got my vote. Yeah, there's a lot of hardworking Pennsylvanians sitting at the ballot box tomorrow being like, yeah, Billie Eyelash and Oprah said to vote for beef, so I'm just going to go against my literal Ojos, the single remaining wrinkle in my actual brain, and I'm going to vote for beef. Choose beef, guys. He can't talk. If you actually, that's the sad reality of all this stuff, is that they think you're so stupid and the demons are so firmly in control that they will literally serve you a mindless blob and say, vote beef. Don't you want Kerry Washington? Don't you care about Kerry Washington's opinion? Look, Cher said to vote for beef. Look, it's Billie Eyelash. She says vote beef. Look, it's Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd and beef are acting out some fun scene from his favorite movie. It's Beef and Paul. Oh, God. Cool, guys. Literally no. Literally no, demons. We don't believe you. Nice try. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow for the blue tsunami, guys. Can't wait to see beef in office for 6 years. This seems like a good idea. So they come out and they parade around Barack Obama. And they're like, yeah, don't worry. He didn't get throat on a pile of snow 15 years ago from that guy in that limousine. That didn't happen. Don't worry, guys. He didn't do anything with any drones. Don't worry, guys. He just made 400 clams a year as the president for 8 years, and now he has a $12 million mansion. 1 + 2 + 3 + math is racist, so that's fine. Cool. Good thing we're all doing great. Vote for beef, guys. Everybody, make sure that you go to the box tomorrow and choose beef. And what's so sad about this is that, and like I certainly hope that everybody shows up tomorrow, and it pisses me off that people are so gone patrol that they'll be like, voting just doesn't even matter. Okay. All right, cool. Well, let's pretend for a second that you're right. Let's pretend that for a second that you're right and voting doesn't matter. Why don't you just go and maybe pop one in there for the opposite of beef, just for fun. You know what I mean? Just in case it matters. Maybe choose the opposite of beef. Maybe show up in New York and pop a Zeldin in there, just in case. But no. I'm just going to sit at home and rub one out and watch TV and say, no, look, it's beef. Cool. He lives in a steel mill. He lives underneath a steel plant. Because look, this is where people mess it up. The right, the Republican Party is imperfect, full of much darkness, much like the left is. The game is controlled by unelected demons that have been firmly in control for many years. However, the general public opinion and unity of the people is the greatest threat to their control and perpetuity. If they could just take everything, they would have taken it already. What they've figured out is, in order to prevent some type of backlash, some type of uprising of sorts, that the easiest way to take control is one piece at a time through a mental contagion, by infecting the brain of enough people that are easily emotionally manipulated to a point that they beg for subservience. They beg people to take their money away. They beg people to take the money away from the people that are giving them jobs. They beg people to say that everybody is being discriminated against. They beg people to send our young men and women overseas to fight for Prezi t-shirt. They march down the street and beg to have their Second Amendment taken away. They beg to have their First Amendment taken away. They beg to have everything classified as hate speech. They beg for more handouts. They beg for more stimmies. They beg for more everything. They beg for the police to be taken away so that the demons can run amok. They beg for subservience. But there's a real opportunity tomorrow to right the ship, at least temporarily. Because generally speaking, the right is the left going the speed limit, and the left is full court press, pedal to the floor, communism. If you choose to vote on the left side of things, generally speaking, what you're choosing is an open border. This is not a debate. This is non-debatable. While Donald J. Ballgame, like him or not, was in office, there was a record decrease in actions, activities, and whatnot at the border. It's just the facts. Because of things like the Remain in Mexico policy and the policies that he put in place, very basic, common sense immigration reform that reduced the amount of people that moved here, that came here illegally. It reduced the amount of trafficking, not only of human beings, but of drugs. And it made the country a better place as a result. People don't seem to understand that the United States has a number of ways to legally migrate here, as well as a number of ports of entry. Any person seeking asylum that comes here from some foreign land can go to a port of entry and legally apply for asylum like every other person has ever done. But if you're going to tell me that some person is fleeing Guatemala, a single 35-year-old man is fleeing Guatemala that came all the way here from Guatemala, allegedly on foot, and is fuddrucking fjording the river, Oregon Trail style, is literally fjording the river with a bag full of Fenty Beauty, and he happens to get picked up by a border agent intentionally because he knows that he'll be released into the interior. If you're going to tell me that this person is of the same caliber of a person that comes legally to a port of entry and applies for asylum and attends an asylum hearing, then you and I are not residing on the same planet. Because you're talking hundreds of thousands of people pouring in at the border. You're talking human trafficking and human suffering to a ridiculous degree. All these women, you're fighting for women's rights and all that. Well, women's rights are gun rights. Women's rights are the Second Amendment. Women's rights are the great equalizer that allows a woman to defend herself against a fully functioning adult human man, of which they very rarely have a shot of defending themselves. And you're also protecting all those innocent women and children that are being trafficked over the border by the cartels in Mexico. They're getting rich as a result, and we're getting poor as a result. And there's absolutely no logical conclusion that any person can draw about the Remain in Mexico policy somehow being a bad idea. Yet on day one, the demons that puppet Joseph, Byron, Robinette, Garbinet, why'd you shower with your granddaughter? Why'd you shower with your daughter? Sorry, I thought that was his middle name. Why did you do the shower, Joe? Allegedly. If you can rationalize that the Remain in Mexico policy is a bad idea, I'd love to hear an argument for that. Yeah, just let them fjord the river. Let them come over here. There's 8,000 single adult males. We don't know who they are, where they came from. Could have been released from a prison, but nobody cares. But yeah, vote blue, guys. Choose blue. Choose for them to continue coming here. Because you just care about everybody. Open it up. There should be no borders. Borders aren't even real. Whom hurt you? Literally whom? Show me on the dirt star where Elon tickled you because you're hurting inside. Who could possibly draw that conclusion? Meanwhile, people in the border towns in America are suffering. There's bumblebee tunas living in camps on the street, committing crimes left and right, pouring over, absorbing all of those resources, and these border towns are getting destroyed. But who cares, right? Who cares? Because there was a couple of people in Martha's Vineyard. Ron DeSanta Claus is a criminal. He illegally flew him. Shut up! Collecting your good boy points like a good little demon. All the demons just scurrying about in the darkness. All the little demons collecting their good boy points. Please give me a brand deal. Give me a brand deal. Give me a brand deal. I'll be a demon too. They get the opportunities. They get the sponsorships. They get the bonuses. They get featured on the homepage. They get the distribution. They collect their good boy points. They recite the establishment line. They collect their demon points. They get the money. They get the distribution. And they love it. And then it's like, how many times, like, these people are in an emotionally abusive relationship with their overlords, which their overlord literally will boot them in the side of the face repeatedly. And they're like, they're sick. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Sad. Dark. Sad inside. Easily emotionally manipulated. Willing to follow the dictate of Billie Eyelash. Don't worry, guys. Olivia Rodrigo said to vote for Joe. Everybody go. Everybody chose Joe. And these people in these deep blue cities, it's like, has anybody here been to Los Angeles in the last 24 months? It smells like piss. It smells like piss. It's a literal urine hole. It's a hole of actual urine. Has anybody been to Philadelphia in recent years? Has anybody seen the bumblebee tunas lurking in these cities? Has anybody been to Minneapolis? I'm in Minneapolis 3 weeks ago. I'm at the Target. No, CVS or Target. I don't even remember. It was downtown. Downtown. The literal crux of the city. Downtown Minneapolis. I go into the CVS to buy a toothpaste. There's a jug of laundry detergent that was $8, and it was chained to the fucking shelf with a fucking metal rod like a bike lock. $8. It was $8, $9.50 in Joey Byron's economy. Can you imagine how dark and how deep it's gone that you have to bike lock with a steel cable a $9 bottle of laundry detergent? You know how many times people stole those bottles of laundry detergent before they bike locked it to the shelf? Can you imagine? Now, mind you, in this CVS or Walgreens or whatever it was in downtown Minneapolis, a major American city, there were 2 armed guards with body armor strapped. 2 dudes strapped on the hip, big, looking at me. I'm just like walking through. I have a thing of toothpaste. These guys are eyeballing me like I'm about to pull out a prison shank and hit him in the jugular to steal an $8 bottle of laundry detergent, because that's the type of stuff they deal with. good thing I was there at 4 o'clock. I can't even imagine going there at 8. And the place must have I think the place closed at like sundown because the demons are lurking at sundown. There's a person laying in a pool of urine every 50 yards. It's disgusting. Yet these people will choose to get more of this. Who are the people that are telling you to vote for this? Billie Eyelash has $50 million. Rob Reiner, this garbage distributing liar. Oh, you gotta vote blue or you're gonna have fascism. It's gonna be fascism in America. Rob Reiner wouldn't know fascism if it was written on a donut that he stuffed into his mouth hole. You're old, Rob. Maybe stay out of this one. I'm so sick of these elitist Hollywood-type windbags thinking we give a shit about their opinion on these matters. People think Kathy Griffin is a comedian. If Kathy Griffin's a comedian, I'm fucking Dave Chappelle. Kathy Griffin is the least funny, least attractive person I think I've ever seen in my entire life. When she speaks, I want to swan dive off a bridge into a pile of trash because I would feel better and more comfortable there. Kathy Griffin is an embarrassment. And the fact that people actually laugh at what this allegedly human person has to say is embarrassing. But yeah, we got to get gaslit by these people that live in $15 million houses on the ocean in fucking Malibu trying to tell us how to vote while you're in downtown San Francisco. You rent a 1-bedroom apartment that's 500 square feet and you got to step over a pile of shit to get to your job in the morning so that you can get underpaid and stay in an overpriced apartment only to go home and step back over a pile of hypodermic needles when you send your kids to school so they step off the bus and go by a Bumblebee tuna encampment. And all the taxes that you pay, which are ridiculous and off the freaking chart, pay for absolutely nothing. So greasebag Gavin can stand in the freaking on the train tracks and pick up one thing of trash and be like, "Hey, California, does anybody remember when I treated you like scum and shit for a year and a half? Vote for Gav Gav." What the hell is wrong with these people? You're sick in the head. People have lost their way and sold their soul to the darkness, and they are so willing to mindlessly regurgitate the establishment line because they got a Range Rover and they got a $250,000 a year salary and they don't have to see it. But luckily for us, there's people in the world that can see past what's in their own neighborhood. And they'll lie to you with impunity every single day and then gaslight you about what they say. Fucking 2 days ago, Joseph Byron, the literal ghost that was allegedly a human person, literally says, there will be no more drilling. No more drilling. We'll turn it into a fucking wind farm. And then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, White House press secretary, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who is literally the worst person at their job, perhaps in the entire earth. It's like, Joe, the president, he was, it was loud in there. And we want to say that the president's words were, and she's like fluttering her eyelids because she can't figure out how to gaslight people to this level because it's so insane. She can't even process it. If you watch her eyes and her eyelids, she's like, how do I gaslight? It's like, I swear. She's like, oh, it was loud in there. The president's words got misconstrued. No, demon. No, you demon puppeteer. No. We heard this person spill this trash out of his face hole. There's not up for misinterpretation. And these also demon, allegedly journalists that sit in the White House press room are like, good one, Kareem. It's like, you guys are sick in the head. These people are disgusting and should be ashamed of themselves. And the fact that people actually allow this stuff to continue happening is nothing short of demonry. Widespread, literal demonry. Evil being perpetrated on the people. It's disgusting. And they're going to come out and they're going to campaign and they're going to be like, oh, the kid, and you got like literal demons, like Gretchen Whitmer saying on the debate stage, like, yeah, the kids were only out of the school for 3 months, only out for 3 months. No, demon, I don't even live in Michigan. I haven't even been to Michigan in 5 years. And I know the kids were out of school for more than 3 months there. You literal demon person. Like, you're the most gaslighting merchant of darkness. And I hope these people suffer a tremendous defeat in these midterms tomorrow so that I can laugh on my merry way and then pick up all of my garbage and all of the hypodermic needles in my neighborhood and try to figure out how to fight another day. Because these people are sick and disgusting. And interestingly enough, myself, a human person living in the state of Florida, you know what didn't happen in Florida? I'll tell you what didn't happen in Florida. Big Ron DeSanta Claus, who is imperfect but is the best governor in America, bar none, literally came down the chimney with all of the presents, and when people started spray painting shit on the walls in the city that I live in, the cops were out in force. These demons didn't get very far at all. You're gonna destroy our city. You're gonna destroy it. Nope. The taxpayer just financed you guys to get clapped. You're gonna get kept in this space. You're gonna be recorded, and you're gonna go to prison, demon. Because Big Ron brought out the National Guard. Big Ron brought out the anti-blocking of road laws. Big Ron came out and had his pulse on the will of the people and did what the people wanted. And that's why this empty shell of a person, Charlie Crist, is going to be faded into existence where he belongs. This guy sucks. And you're going to tell us, you're going to have the audacity before a selection to actually tell the residents in the state of Florida that you're going to listen to the science and maybe make people put their diapers on again? No, demon. You get off the airwaves and move back into existence. Take your political party switch and disappear into the Everglades, Charles, because you suck. These people are disgusting. How many times do people need to figure out how much information do people have to consume to understand that a cloth diaper is not doing shit? But yeah, put on your compliance diaper, guys. Everybody get in line and put on your compliance diaper and bend over and grab your ankles because your Grandmaster Fauch is going to blast you in the brown eye with your next pop of the juice. You will comply. The stuff that these people are willing to say out in the open now, can you imagine what they would do when they actually got a little more power? As literal demon Dollar Bill Clinton was campaigning yesterday in New York for Kathy, the unelected distributor of trash, governor of New York. And he's out there laughing. He's like, yeah. He's like, oh. He's like, yeah. He's like, people are out, these Republicans are out there sitting thinking that Kathy wakes up in the morning and goes down to the subway and gives these people a billy club. Gives them a billy club. First of all, Bill, maybe sit this one out because you caught top from your subordinate in the Oval Office, demon. Don't care what you have to say. Disappear, dog. No one gives a shit what Bill Clinton thinks anymore. Demon. Sorry. Bye. We stopped giving a shit about your opinion when you started spreading and sprinkling your demonry all over the country. Why don't you go back to Haiti and tell us where all the money went, Bill? Tell us what was on the Lolita. What was on the Lolita Express? Where did you go? Where did you go, Bill? Where's your boy? Where's your boy, Bill? We just went to the island. We just went to the demon island to do demon stuff. But what do you think, Kathy Hochul's giving out billy clubs on the subway? Shut your hole, Wang Chung, and disappear, demon. But yeah. Vote blue, guys. It's a blue tsunami. Big blue tsunami, guys. Darn. Oh, Trump. These people are sad. Literally sad. But okay. You have people like Kathy. She's like, Jesus wants you to get the juice, so be my good disciples and go out there and give everybody the juice. Just tell everybody to get the juice. Did you see my necklace? BRB, gotta go back down. The gates of hell close at noon. Gotta go, guys. Whoop. Hello. In Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer said that you can't buy a can of paint. You can't buy a can of literal paint. That's not science. These people are demons, and they're collecting their good boy points so that they can get more cash, secure the bag, secure more power, and do the will of the merchants of darkness. There's just no two ways about it. I don't care. Because these people are sick, and they're sick in the mind, and they're sick in the head, and they're sick, and they're disturbed. And they have absolutely no problem selling out their constituents, lying to them, and being merchants of literal trash. If you're a person out there that says something like gender-affirming care, you are deranged. Sorry, you're deranged. They say this stuff like, they're saying like Republicans want to get rid of your Social Security and your Medicare. Oh, it's like Joey Basement, Obama, all these demons. They're like, watch out, America. They're coming for your Social Security and your Medicare. No, you lying demon. No, they're not. If they propose a plan that says, a plan that probably won't even do anything, if they propose a plan that says every 5 years, if there's some law that goes into effect, it should be debated as to whether or not it should stay. That's not them coming after your Social Security. It's not even said. The word Social Security doesn't even appear in it. It's a plan. It's nothing. Yet that's the line. And then they come out and they say abortion. Abortion's on the ballot. Women's reproductive care is on the ballot, guys. Okay. People don't even know how the basics of society work. They don't understand money. They don't understand finances. They don't understand taxes. They don't remember history. They don't know how to get information from any source other than Misery Reed or Misery Behar or Whoop the Cushion. The Supreme Court does not make laws. The Supreme Court interprets the laws to determine whether or not they are constitutional. If the Supreme Court determines that a law was determined on an unconstitutional basis, and then you're going to go out there and be a literal lying demon, a word manipulating demon, and say, oh, they're taking away your constitutional right. No, demon, it's not a constitutional right, or they couldn't have taken it away. Yeah? Okay, cool. Glad everybody's on the same page. All they did was say, oh, and it's like, oh, we're going to lose our democracy, guys. Rob Reiner, in between donuts, said, you're going to lose your democracy. Okay, Rob. Don't worry, guys. Michael Moore fact-checked it. Michael Moore rolled out of his house. It's like, well, he's like, let's all be slaves. Let's all be slaves to the establishment. Shut up, Michael. No one cares about your opinion. Like, look healthier. I don't know. But they're like, oh, it's taking away the democracy. We're going to lose our democracy. You people are sick in the head. If the Supreme Court puts it back to the states so that the states can decide, that is democracy. That's the essence of democracy. That's them doing democracy. But these people are so sick and twisted, and they think that you're so stupid and easily manipulated that they will mindlessly regurgitate the talking points because they're banking on you being dumb. And if you're so dumb that you can't figure out that presenting an identification card in order for you to cast a ballot is a bad thing, then you could be told just about anything. If you could be told that telling your 14-year-old that they could lop off their Pen 15 and be a first day of girlhood, then you're sick in the literal head. Donde está tu cabeza, señor? Because whom hurt you? Literally whom? Literally whom? Whom hurt you? Whom? Because someone did. Because somebody did. Okay. Okay. What is going on? These police officers are getting treated like garbage. Your first responders are getting treated like trash. The people that save other people, that rescue each other, the heroes are demonized. The nurses that they were clamoring on the pots and pans and sending them to the Cavaliers game. Oh, the heroes, all the frontline heroes. Take this mysterious potion or shut your hole and lose your career forever. And you better believe that if these people continue to remain in power, what will happen as soon as the next school year rolls around is it will be mandatory juice, or you don't get the privilege to learn in America. And we will still collect your taxes to pay for the public school system, but you will have to figure it out for yourself. Because the vast majority of takes on reality, on how the world works, on how to vote, on what you should think about the world around you is dictated to you by elitists or people that are begging to be in the elite class. They want to be at the Met Gala. They want to be at the Oscars. They want to be at the parties. They want to be in Hollywood. They want to be on the movie poster. They want to be on the banners. They want to be big online. They're willing to sell their soul to collect their good boy points because they're so sad inside that that's all they got. They can't do it in reality. They can't hack it in the real world. They don't care about people. All they care about is themselves. And they're willing to sell themselves and everyone else in their community down the river to secure that bag. If some sad person, some sad, easily manipulated and controlled person like LeBron James was to say to his people, nah, I'm not going to do another Sprite commercial because Sprite is high fructose corn syrup poison. And young black boys in the inner city are going to think that if I drink Sprite, that I'll be like LeBron James. Except maybe I'll be lucky enough to make it past page 4 of any book that I allege to have read. But they don't care. They will sell their people down the river because they don't care. And they fake like they care, and they donate just enough money so that they can collect their good boy points in the eyes of the public, so that they can keep being a distributor of the demonry. I don't care if you donate $1. If you go and earn $10 being a merchant of the darkness, it doesn't matter how many dollars you donated. Because these people could do tremendous good, and instead they choose to be merchants of the darkness. And instead of standing up for their colleagues and their friends, they're willing to sell them down the river. And people like Charles Barkley and people like these NBA announcers that are quick to demonize Kyrie Irving, they have no problem with Amazon hosting a link to this documentary, but they have all the problems with Kyrie sharing it. The hypocrisy is insane. These people are merchants of the darkness, and they will do absolutely anything to stay securing the bag. Charles Barkley has enough money and enough fame and fortune that he could have stood on Kyrie's side, but instead he decided to be a dumpster distributor and choose the side of the demons that write his paycheck. And so goes most of the others. These Hollywood types are bought and paid for. They know that their cash flow depends on the overlords that run and operate their life. They know that radio play depends on the people that are in control of them. They know that their PR agent can't spin it if the demons above them are not on their side. So they mindlessly sell their soul to the devil, and they collect their good boy points so that they can have fame and fortune forever. And then interestingly enough, and more often than not, their kids come into the world and their kids have to make a decision. Continue to be a merchant of the darkness, or maybe turn it on its head and try a different path. And those kids often end up on the front page of the newspaper or on the 6 o'clock news, or reach some untimely demise or some ostracizing from society. And then these people that have endless fortunes, as soon as they get a kid, they just sell their likeness because they just have no self-respect. And I think about people like Kylie Jenner, for example. Kylie Jenner, when she and her sister, when they were when they first realized they were even alive, there was a camera in their face documenting and distributing their every moment. They didn't have a chance to be a kid. And if any person was to look at Kylie Jenner right now and she didn't have $1 billion and fame and fortune, they would be like, what happened to this girl? Because that is the level that they are willing to go. And it's like somebody like a Kim Kardashian, for example, she has a pile of kids. Her kids are like 3. And you and I know what they look like. You've seen them in a modeling shoot, selling jeans or selling makeup or selling something, just being merchandised. When someone like Kim Kardashian with $1 billion could easily shield her kid's face from the world, at very least temporarily, and let them try to live a normal life. But they won't even try that. And these are the people that we're supposed to take our orders from. You got her sitting down with Hill Dog and Chelsea Clinton. And then you have these nighttime hosts, which are so embarrassing. You have people like Jimmy Fallon and Stephen Colbert. And it's like Jimmy Fallon, like I've always liked Jimmy Fallon, but it's like he is just part of the PR wing of the merchants that are in control of everything else. They have to collect their good boy points or they don't get a spot. And they say, you're going to have on Pete Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg. And he's like, ha ha ha, Pete. Like, it's so funny. Like, anybody cares what Pete Buttigieg says about anything. Because if you look at a person like Stephen Colbert, for example. Stephen Colbert works for Viacom, is employed by The Daily Show, actually was funny, objectively. Viacom raises his stock on The Daily Show as he's like a half taken serious puppet for the establishment line. And they say, hey, Stephen, if you're willing to sell everything you got to the darkness, we will put you on primetime, nighttime show. You'll be the next David Letterman. We'll get you fame. We'll get you fortune. You'll be rich forever, stacked to the gills. You'll have influence you never imagined. You'll be employed by CBS. You'll be known around the world. And all you got to do is be a mouthpiece of the darkness. All you got to do is sell this magical, mystical potion and try to make everybody else feel like an idiot for not signing up and lining up for it, even if it's to their own demise. And Stephen Colbert is like, yes, sir. I will collect my good boy points because I want money and fame and fortune more than I want integrity. Screw them. Cha-ching. And that's what they all do. And then they're in the machine, the media machine, the information distribution machine, the true ruler of the world. Because the progressive left takes its orders from the media machine. The media machine is run by the financiers that make profit off of either side of any international conflict or war. They finance both sides. They finance the fear. They finance the pharmaceutical products that people get because they have anxiety, PTSD. They finance the medications that hurt you, and then they finance the medications that you take to recover from the hurt from the first ones. They finance all of the businesses, all of the movie production studios that are nothing more than mind lobbying to convince you that men and fathers are stupid and dumb and that you should be attracted to some soy boy that sits out in front of your house and strums his guitar and begs for your love. And if you're a young 14-year-old girl, you're a princess and you're sleeping, and a magical prince will come and kiss you on the lips, and you'll be whisked away from your parents, your friends, and everyone you ever known to live in a castle with a magical king, with a prince. You'll be in that castle with a magical prince, against your parents, against your sisters, against your sibling, against everyone you ever know, because it's for love, right? Meanwhile, you're 14. And yeah, it's a cartoon, but what do you think they're doing? You're a princess. And then they're like, by the way, any man that doesn't fall into this soy, noodle body, push-ups are bad space, well, it's toxic masculinity. It's the patriarchy. You're making 87 cents on the dollar. You're making, and then you have these noodle demons like Gavin Newsom throttling duck confit and au jus at the fucking French Laundry, and he's like, yeah, this guy is soy embodied, and it's like, this is your male. This is who you're looking up to, Gav. Please look at a picture of his family. His oldest daughter is like, she is furious. But yeah, whatever. I'm sure that whole operation's going well. And then they say, oh, it's the men. It's the patriarchy. It's like, cool. Suicide rates for men off the chart. Vast majority of men that die in the workplace, men. Or vast majority of people that die in the workplace, men. Fighting all the foreign wars, the vast majority of the deaths, men. All the really outrageous jobs. Skyscrapers, construction, sewers, coal mining, oil drilling, men. But it's the patriarchy, guys. Oh, a woman makes 86 cents on the... How much does a female bartender make versus a male bartender? What's the difference in earnings that a female bartender, that a female service worker, that a female hospitality worker, a restaurant worker, what's the difference of tips between a female bartender and a male bartender? You think they're even, you demons? But people are so stupid. They don't even understand basic economics. They don't even understand supply and demand. They don't even understand finance. They don't even understand a credit score. People don't even understand how to manage their own money. 90% of the country doesn't have $400 for a fucking rainy day. But these people are supposed to understand the complicated, nuanced operations of the entire world? No, of course not. And they bank on that. So they're like, here, you idiot lemming. Here's Billie Eyelash. Vote for FETTERBEEF and give up your guns to protect yourself, and give up your ability to speak. And everything is hate speech. And you will sit at home and you will take the juice and you'll let grandma die alone. And you'll beg for more. And you'll beg for a stimmy, and you'll elect a basically non-living puppet that's been a career politician, corrupt as the day is long, and you're going to take demands from this dude. Oh, don't worry, guys, because democracy is ending, according to Rob Reiner, an angry Hollywood elitist that are being paid to collect their good boy points so that they can rise and remain in control of their stardom, so they can get another Netflix spot, another Spotify spot, so they can get another spot on Amazon Prime. The demons hide in plain sight. The merchants of darkness are among us, and they have absolutely no concern for being identified anymore. Because if they have control of the media, they have control of the mind. If they have control of the distribution points, they have control of the mind. If they can convince you that lopping off your Pen 15 makes you a little girl, they could convince you that the sky is falling. If they can silence any person that has an opinion that goes against their approved narrative, and they can deplatform you, remove you, silence you, debank you, get everybody to hate you, demonize you, and now go as far as not letting you travel, not letting you move, sue you for $2 trillion like they did to Jones. Why don't they sue him for $500 trillion? They are letting you know that if you're a person in America, even if you belong to the supposed alleged marginalized class, even if you manage to escape all of the oppression and you manage to rise and be a world famous musician, a world famous fashion designer, one of the richest black men to ever live, we will destroy you if you say the wrong thing that we don't approve of. If you become a sports superstar by the age of 30 and you want control of your own health, of which you are a tier 1, 99.9% healthiest specimen on the planet, akin to akin to an active duty military SEAL member, Kyrie Irving is in peak physical performance. But you need to take this mysterious potion, or we will destroy you. It's an example. No matter how big you get, how much money you got, how much fame you've accumulated, how successful you are, and how much the people love you, you can be destroyed. And I do find it tremendously sad that people have piled on to Kanye for what he has said and misconstrued his words, whether you agree with them or not. But how this dude is being treated, whether you like what he said or not, is akin to the exact same speech that all those exact same people used to defend, because the actions of other people or how people feel or interpret your words is not violence, and is not your responsibility for what other people do as a result of what you say, because that is the foundation of America, the freedom of speech. There is no such thing as hate speech. It is truly sad. And tomorrow, we are going to get gaslit to the absolute maximum with absolute certainty. The exact same people that wanted to deplatform you and remove you from society and call you a denier. You're a denier, they said from behind their blue diaper, outside walking their dog alone because Dr. Jilly told them to. Dr. Jilly's like, everybody stay safe. Make sure you wear your blue diaper and inhale a bunch of microplastics while you're walking your dog outside alone. Shut up, Jilly. Literally, whom told you to put on those curtains? But they're going to say tomorrow that the Republicans found some way to steal it. And I am going to laugh all the way to the bank when the president of Earth, Stacey Abrams, loses again. Oh, my word. That will be hilarious, because I am so sick of seeing her face and hearing her voice and hearing her complain. Because Stacey Abrams is the type of cat that takes a picture with 50 kids with no diaper on, and they all have to wear their diaper. And she's been denying and questioning, just like these other demons, for the last 6 years. And they want to demonize you for doing the exact same thing. These people are going to gaslight us till the cows come home tomorrow. The selection in Pennsylvania with FETTERBEEF. Hi, good night. Good morning, good night. Hi, everybody. Good night. Hi. Good night, everybody. Crudité, veggie tray. I live 3 miles from here. I live in a steel mill. I'm made of steel. Carhartt. I'm relatable. I am relatable. Collecting my check from my dad. Dad paid me. Dad. I am worthless. Bad at my job. I'm made of beef. And they're gonna say, "Oh, FETTERBEEF, and they're gonna drag out the FETTERBEEF debate for days. The beef thing is gonna go on for days. But they're going to say They're going to claim if they lose, which I certainly hope they do, they're going to say it was some fraud. They were going to say it was some such and such. And I just saw on Tucker before that there was an article in Politico today that suggested that these machines can be hacked somehow or the information can get intercepted. It's like, when you spend as much time looking at it as I know all of you do and I do, it's like sickening to see how much these people lie and how much they manipulate and emotionally manipulate and gaslight the people that are in the middle, the people that don't usually pay attention. Because they are begging for their vote. It's sick. But again, what really bothers me too, as I've said before, is how these people will sit there and say, voting doesn't matter at all. I'm not going to vote. It's like, okay, well, you just cast a vote for Kathy. You just cast a vote for Greasy Gav, the heavily lacquered sun god of San Francisco, Gavin Mussolini. If you didn't choose something, if you didn't at least try for something that you might think is this or not, choose your local, choose your governor. You tell me every single thing is rigged? How did Santa Claus get in there then? How is every state not run by only people in the blue if these things just completely don't matter? Because whether or not you believe 2021 was stolen or not, there is absolutely no denying that there was a concerted effort, a consistent effort by the mainstream media to demonize one side, to gaslight one side, to suggest that the other side was bad for every single thing, and to parade and puppeteer around how bad it would be if he had another chance. So you had all the powers that be, all the networks, all the distribution points, all on one side. Yet it still managed to be that close. So whether you believe or not that it was taken, there is absolutely no denying the objective truth that that is what was going on, and we all saw it. So I just hope that people, I think that tomorrow will be the shift that we need. I just certainly hope it goes all the way, because the Republican Party is not perfect and it's not great all the time, but you can guarantee that it is certainly better in nearly every aspect than the progressive left wing of the country. Protecting the kids, protecting yourself and your property, following the rule of law and financing the police, financing ICE, protecting the border, reducing overdose deaths. All of those things come with that selection. Big Ron DeSanta Claus banned genital surgeries today in the state of Florida. And even though everything has been so crazy in the news cycle, this is a huge W. And of course, there we go. All right, cool. My video just got paused. Great. All right, it's back. But it's like the end of the game, which I will continue to repeat every single time you hear me say anything. The true enemy of the people is bloated, all too powerful federal government. We squander so much money overseas, it's sickening. We're $33 trillion in debt and rising. The border is open. We're sending billions of dollars to Prezi T-shirt while veterans stay homeless in the street. We got a mental health crisis. We got a drug abuse crisis. We got a border crisis. We got an illegal immigration crisis. We got a mind poisoning crisis. We got a biomedical, pharmaceutical, nanny state crisis. And even though the right has been imperfect in a number of ways, the only way out of this, whether we like it or not, is for the people to choose people that are less insane and then slowly start chipping away and bringing in America First candidates and then holding them to account. And then once you bring them in and hold them to account, you criticize their every move. You hold them to the same account that you would anybody on the progressive left. You don't clap. You don't clap like seals and mindlessly raise their stock, make them famous. You take the financing out of the game. You give the power back to the local governments, to the local municipalities, and to the states. And then you slowly start to return those rights to the people. You lower taxes by reducing needless, squandering, overbearing government spending. And you choose the best candidate that you think is most likely to support a fiscally responsible, people-centered, people-governed country. Because the amount of work that these people put in to get reelected, the amount of money that gets poured into these elections, the amount of time and effort that the machine cranks to convince people to make these decisions is enough convincing for me that they are not gone and that they actually do matter. And even though the hands of power are controlled by a few, the greatest threat to their continuous power forever is a unified people that is well-informed, well-communicated with each other, and unified in their belief that smaller government is better government and that the people should be given the respect to have more power on how they run their own life. And the level of darkness that they've gone to, that the people are allowing to continue and persist, is off the chart. And if it were not for the mysterious clap, which by all available evidence certainly looks engineered, allegedly, my opinion, released upon the world, completely overblown, and then ushered in a biomedical nanny state where powers were usurped from the people under the guise of emergency, I guarantee you it will happen again. And if these people are in power, whether you like abortion or not, or whatever you think is the most pressing issue of the day, these people will sell you the dream, get your vote, and come around 4 years later to get it again after they've been dumping warm loads of brown all over your face for the last 4 years. How any rational person could step up to the plate and step up to the ballot box in the state of Michigan and choose Gretchen Whitmer is sick in the head. After what she just did, locking down that state and locking down those kids and disrupting their ability to learn and grow and probably permanently stunting their growth, the sickness that this person just put on that state is disgusting. And if you are so dumb that you go to the ballot box and vote for Gretchen Whitmer, I feel bad for you. And if you do the same with Kathy Hochul after people are getting shanked on the subway for existing, I feel bad for you. You should have your brain checked because you think all these other issues are so important. Here's a newsflash. Lee Zeldin's not going to be able to do dick butt kiss about abortion in the state of New York. What he's going to do is help people not get out of prison the day after they commit a heinous crime. And even though inflation is the issue of the moment and is largely driven by needless, wasteful government spending, the Republicans will spend just the same. They will increase the government spending and keep it where it is, not a question about it. But they will be more transparent, they will be more truthful, they will be more scrutinized, they will be less puppeted by the overlords that run the world, And they will, at the very least, allow for us to resume producing energy. And the production of energy alone and economic prosperity will solve so many of our problems that it's insane. The sheer ability for us to use fracking, coal, natural gas, and drill to the abundant quantity of oil that we have in this country can change the trajectory of so many people's lives. Because cheap energy is the lifeblood that American dream was built upon. There would be no America without for access to clean energy. Or cheap energy, sorry. If they want to phase out oil, the amount of damage that will do economically, financially, and what have you to the people of this country is absolutely insane. The United States has more untapped oil than any country in the entire world. The United States of America has more oil, undrilled oil, than Saudi Arabia, than Russia, than Venezuela. We have the most oil reserves under the ground, not tapped, of any country in the world. And if they're going to make this supposed allegedly clean energy future, because Greta Thunberg shed a tear because Toonblob, who is a mindless puppet of the establishment, a sad, manipulated young person who should literally like go out and play and go on a date or something. If they're going to create this clean energy future where oil is pointless to have, why would you not unlock that oil right now while everybody is suffering as a result? Why wouldn't you start to pay down our deficit by exporting that oil to other countries like Germany and other places that need it right now ahead of this cold winter? Why would you not do that? Because it's not about clean energy. It's about subservience and control. All that oil will be worthless. When I was in third grade, we had a system that all of our teachers in our grade put in called munions. And munions were fake dollars, like Monopoly dollars. And everybody in the grade collected munions. And these munions could be used at the end of the year in a marketplace called the Munion Market. And what it allowed you to do is if you showed up on time for 10 days in a row, or if you completed all your homework for 10 days in a row, or you answered the puzzle or the quiz of the day, or you got good grades or whatever, you would get munions. And by the end of the school year, had collected the second most munions, or maybe the third most munions of any kid in the entire grade. I was swimming in munions. I think I had $10,000 worth of munions, 10,000 munions, which is off the chart. The average student had 100, maybe 500, and I had 10,000 munions. I collected my good boy points all year. And at the end of the year, there was the Munion Market. And I went to the Munion Market, and I was like Fat Cat McGee. I walked in there with a fucking top hat and a staff. I had a staff, and I had a petticoat that dusted the floor, and I had a monocle. And I went into the Munion Market like I was about to blow that mother out. And at the Munion Market, people knew that I had all the munions. So people would come up to me and try to sell their wares for the munions. And Munion Market was about 2 hours long. After about 45 minutes, I bought some candy. I bought some other things. And I still had 9,000 munions left. And then the teacher said, there's 20 minutes left. And I was like, wait a second. And then it all hit me like a freight train. In 20 minutes, my 9,000 remaining munions were worthless. The school year was over, the munion market was complete, and the munions had no value. So I exploded back into the marketplace, trying desperately to offload my munions to get anything that I could. And nearly every single person was like, nah, I'm good. It's over in 20 minutes. So in the last ditch effort, I bought a bag of Lifesavers candy for 2,500 munions with 10 minutes left in the munion market. 15 minutes earlier, that bag of munions was probably 20 munions. And I bought it for 2,500 munions. And when the munion market ended, I took nearly 7,000 munions and I threw them in the garbage can. And I will never think the same way about money ever again for the remainder of my life. And the oil that we have under the ground in America is the munions. The munions will not be worth anything if we don't use them in the time that they are most desperately needed. The world is the munion market. It's all the same thing. They're all lessons. But people don't take the time to understand they don't take the time to understand the grand picture, which is, in my opinion, is the following. The most important thing to all human beings is freedom. It is the most important fundamental tenet above all other things. And of course, there's family and there's health, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about preservation, because without freedom, your family will be affected and your health will be affected, which means that the top tier of the game of life is freedom. In order to be free in our present observable reality, you need munions, you need money, you need finances, because finances will allow you to preserve that freedom in this structure, a capitalist structure which has helped lift more people out of poverty and keep people prosperous, healthy, and free than any other system that's ever existed in the history of time. So the capitalist system was not invented by a person. It was not implemented by a government. It was not put into place a structure that was pre-thought out. Capitalism is the word that we've assigned to classify the free flowing of goods and services in exchange for other goods and services. The free marketplace where everybody has an equal shot. That is capitalism. And if utilized properly, will unlock more freedom for the people of the world than any other thing. In order to be free, you have to understand finance. In order to be free, you have to understand money. In order to understand money, you have to understand the economy. In order to understand the economy, you have to understand politics. In order to understand politics, you have to understand who controls the politics, who controls the money, who controls the flow of politics, who controls the flow of money. If you do not understand these slices of the pie, you will never be free. You need to know your credit score. You need to know how much money you have. You need to know how to produce money, save money, invest money, create money. You need to know how to deploy that money to bring more money back to you. You need to understand how to use that money to preserve your health and wellness, to keep your mental state right, to keep your physical body right. All of these things have costs. If you become a distributor of information, a beacon of light, a distributor of facts and truths, and sharing your understanding of this observable reality, You become a distribution point by which the light can continue to travel through. You become a conduit. You become a connector. You're like a metal rod connecting one source of electricity to another. You're a pass-through. So the distribution of free thought, the distribution of intelligence, the distribution of observation of what's going on, and then deciphering that and delivering it to other people is a task that should obviously, in my opinion, be taken on by every person of the planet. Because if that was to happen, and if more people were to understand, and if more people were to pay attention, and if more people were to try to understand and learn and pass it along, we would have a freer, more self-sufficient, more independent society with unified collective goals. And we would all understand that freedom is important, capitalism is important, self-preservation is important, property is important, health is important, food is important, and not swallowing 5,000 pharmaceutical products or having your anxiety artificially raised by these demons that are chirping in your mind all the time is how the world could continue to prosper. I would wager that the world could be a lot freer and a lot healthier and a lot more prosperous than it is now if more people took a little bit more time to pay attention to the things that really matter in the world and engaged in things like elections, local elections, teaching people and helping themselves understand finance, and then passing that information along. I think that the world would be a better place if there was more charter schools, more private schools, less people in the system. I think the world would be a better place if less people got artificially gassed up and sent to colleges that they shouldn't have taken loans out to go to. I think the vast majority of people don't need to go to college, and they would do much better learning a trade or learning through an apprentice or learning through an internship or learning through some low-paid entry point into a career that interested them, where they could lean into their advantage, they could lean into the thing that they love the most, and they could become great at it. And instead, we needlessly squander their time and churn them out into good, useful lemmings that go to work from 9 to 5 and hate their life in a job they don't want, to collect money, to accumulate a bunch of goods to impress people that they don't like. And I am not going to go through this existence sitting here complaining about it and not at the very least trying to change some people's minds. That's why I do this. That's why I hope it inspires you to tell other people about it and spread the word. Not just about me, but about the ideas that you see here. Because I'm not going to go through life thinking that the demons that have controlled the operation up until this point are just going to have control of it forever. I'm going to believe that if enough good people do the right thing consistently over time, over the course of their life, develop enough skills and enough knowledge and enough people that know, like, and trust them, that we can unite and ultimately change the world by first changing the minds of many people. Because politics is downstream from culture. If you can control the culture, influence the culture, move the culture in the right directions, you'd have less people listening to shoot 'em up music and less people dying for nothing. You'd have less people swallowing pills and drinking alcohol and doing whatever their vice is, and more people producing. And it doesn't mean that any one of these vices is to blame, but the culture clearly, intentionally supports and artificially raises the distribution of things that destroy people's ability to flourish and grow and prosper. So I hope that people understand that tomorrow is just yet another opportunity for you, the average everyday person, to decide to be great. Because I've said it 1,000 times. Every person in history, every person of any significance throughout human history has started out as a regular average Joe that decided to do great things, that decided to be great. That's your George Washington. That's your Abraham Lincoln. If you see the house that Abraham Lincoln grew up in, if you see where George Washington, how he grew up, if you see any of these people that have done tremendous things throughout world history, they started out as regular, average, everyday Joes that decided to do great things. That's your Harriet Tubman. That's your Martin Luther King Jr. That's your George Washington. That's your Abraham Lincoln. All of them. So what are you going to do? The very simplest and most basic act of defiance of the top-down control structure is to choose people that are less controlled by the darkness than ones that aren't. That will be slightly more transparent, that will move at slightly a slower pace off the cliff to hell. And it's not perfect, and the fight doesn't stop there. But it's like the very least you could do is get these merchants of the darkness out of those positions of power and get people in that will be more accountable, and then scrutinize them and hold them to account. So it's like, choose wisely, because I guarantee you some other medical calamity will be coming soon. And if there aren't people like Ron DeSantis in Florida, and if there aren't people at the helm of these halls of power, we're screwed. Because if it wasn't for a person like Ron DeSantis, for example, if it wasn't for the example set by governors in the state of Georgia, Florida, Texas, the entire country would have been locked down in communism level insanity. Because if it weren't for DeSantis able to generate all of the inflows of cash, all of the tourism, all of the people, if he wasn't able to do that and slap them in the face with it, they probably would have stayed locked down forever. But again, where the money flows, where the attention flows, dictates more about how this political structure runs than most people even understand. Your attention and your money dictates more about how politics flow than anything else. Like I said, politics is downstream from culture. If instead of listening to Billie Eyelash, you'd listen to something else that maybe doesn't support a person that says things like that. If instead of listening to Lil Nas X or whatever else, somebody that's controlled by these people, if you move your attention elsewhere, you're fighting the power one piece at a time. If instead of watching the latest Netflix, instead of watching cuties on Netflix, you choose to listen to a podcast like this, it changes the structure. And although it is imperfect, it is a step in the right direction. And Will Smith, who I used to look up to tremendously, he said brilliantly one time, he says, one does not look to build a great wall. One just simply looks to place one brick better than any brick has ever been placed. And then the next brick better than any brick has ever been placed. And eventually you have a wall. You don't set out to build the wall, you build it brick by brick. And the way that you do it is by changing the minds, by supporting the people that are pushing the ideals that you want, by supporting the country that you love, by supporting the people that you care about, by moving the needle, swinging the pendulum in the opposite direction at a time where they've done the most insane and ridiculous things, where they're coming for the kids, they're coming for the future, they're coming for the old people, they're coming for everybody. They made grandma die alone in a box for nothing. When I would wager that 99.9% of those people would have rather risk their life to hug their loved ones than be trapped in a prison. And there they sat inside a health facility with the windows closed, and the workers that worked in those health facilities went out and canoodled around with people, and then they brought it in. And then they sat them in there like sitting ducks, and they poisoned them, and they got zapped. And that was everybody's parents, family members, grandma. Never forget what these fucking demons did to these people. But you're going to go out there and choose more of it? Fuck you. You're dumb as fuck. Sorry, you're fucking stupid. Because this is sick. Next level darkness to the most insane degree imaginable. And although the right is not perfect, how the fuck are you going to sit there and say that they didn't do that? Because they did. And if you got a 25-year-old dropping dead on a fucking soccer field of a blood clot and you think that that's because of global warming, you're fucking stupid. Like, you're dumb as fuck. But all right. Good luck with that. It's like, how many people need to suffer because you don't have the fucking balls to look at it? But yeah, guys, vote FETTERBEEF. Oh, the baby's 8 months and 29 days. Clap it. Got to get my career going. Clump of cells. Good for you. But yeah, healthcare. You're sick. Okay. Best of luck with that. Look around you. The whole thing's melting down. You're going to go up there and sign up for beef. Best of luck for that. It's like, holy Christmas. Anyways. Yeah. Choose beef, guys. Everybody, blue tSuNaMi, guys. Everybody collect their good boy points. What did Billie Eyelash say? Oh, choose beef. Kerry Washington said beef is cute. He's so cute. Ooh, goo. What is wrong with you? Yeah, these people are sick. Sick in the head. Anyhow, oh man, I saw a couple of Venmos come in. Thank you so much to everybody that sent in those Venmos. I really appreciate it. Thanks to the people that bought the badges on Instagram. Really appreciate the support. Texas Lady, Lana Liberty, one guy, Jody, Chax 243765. Redhead Bex, Marcin Statura 21. Thank you so much. I'll stick around. I just did an hour and a half of absolutely zipping and zapping. I threw a lot of swears in there, which means the monetization of this episode is gone. But whatever. Sometimes you just get a little passionate. So I'm going to read some of the comments now and answer some of your questions for like 10 or 15 minutes before I jump. Naturally, as I look over to TikTok, it's where the sads run amok in the street. They're in the comments. Donnie, bad orange man. Orange man is bad orange man. Thank you, Jiminy's Juniper, for the badge on Instagram. Appreciate it. Donna on Facebook said they did that to my friend, put her on a ventilator, and she got clapped. Of course, seems fine. People on TikTok someone said great live. Thank you, Annie. Really appreciate that. Kathy said I gotta go. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. If anybody's got any questions, pop them into the comments. I am now reading the comments. Somebody said you need moderators. No, I'm good. Tick snap sucks. Yeah, it's not ideal, but it's a distribution point. The objective is distribution, so it is what it is. Hello from Canada. Catherine on Facebook. What's up? What's up, Canada? Appreciate it. Thank you, Becky, for the badge on Instagram. How am I so cool? Thank you. I don't know. Just, I feel, has anybody ever seen that video where, like they're making fun of the girl? It's like every girl on Alive, and she's like, you have you're so beautiful. Oh, thank you. I wish I was you. Thank you so much. I feel like that when I read that comment. Everybody's asking about Kanye. You want to know my opinion on Kanye? I got asked this question today. I was on the Tinfoil Hat podcast with Sam Tripoli, and he asked me about Kanye, and we talked about it for a little bit. So I don't want to go through all the Kanye stuff again, but listen to the Tinfoil Hat podcast tomorrow with Sam Tripoli. It drops tomorrow morning. Leave a comment, leave a review, let him know how much you liked the episode if you liked it. But the Tinfoil Hat podcast with Sam Tripoli with me drops tomorrow. So go ahead and listen to it. But I generally think that the way that they're treating Kanye is insane. Somebody said 1776 is the biggest joke I ever heard in my life. Not even sure what that means, but okay. Are you going to have a regular Big Ron shirt? What does that mean, a regular Big Ron shirt? I could make a Big Ron shirt. Thank you, Normandy, on TikTok. Appreciate it. Remember Alex Jones yelling 1776? Okay. Yep. Yeah, Nadima. Thank you, Bella Bond, for the badge on Instagram. Appreciate that. Yeah, like there's a documentary that just came out called The Real Anthony Fauci. I would highly suggest that everybody watches it. I'm going to watch the rest of it tonight. It's 2 parts. It's amazing. It's really worth watching, but it's sick. It's sickening. Mikey said, what do I think about Donnie saying DeSanctimonious? I did a video the other day about it where I was wearing this shirt where I talked about it's just a bad look. I think that it makes sense because they might be competing with each other in the general, but saying it before a midterm election just seems in poor taste, in my opinion. And I'm not a big fan of it. I like the Santa Claus over Donnie, 9 times out of 10. Someone said, did I really say Kanye was being mistreated? I think they blew it a lot out of proportion, yeah. What up, Mahoney? Where is it airing? What service? It should be on everywhere podcasts can be listened to. Can I get a big round of Santa Claus shirt for Christmas? Sure. I'll pull one together. What did I think of Kyrie? I mentioned Kyrie as well. Listen to the Sam Tripoli. Listen to the Tinfoil Hat podcast tomorrow with Sam Tripoli. I talk about Kyrie and Kanye on there as well. Yeah, see, look at this. See, I'm not even going to repeat the comment. So you approve of. See, that's the type of gaslighting. That's the type of gaslighting. Listen to what I said on the Sam Tripoli podcast. You guys are using that word, throwing that word around. Somebody said, do you ever invest in quantime takes? I don't know what that means. What up, Jigs? Have I heard anything negative about drop boxes? I mean, no, not really. Somebody said, what do I think about the student loan debt cancellation? I've made a bunch of videos about that. I think it's preposterous. The Kyrie situation, yeah, is insane, completely blown out of proportion. Pretty sad and dark how they demonized Kyrie, but not Amazon, who had the link on their own site. It's completely preposterous and falls just in line. They're just trying to make an example out of him. The Santa Claus will be used by the establishment to divide conservatives. Okay, maybe. Everybody's got a hot take. It's like, can anybody do anything right? Is every single person that ever does anything right, are they all just controlled op? Are we in hell? Is there nothing that we can do? Is every single politician and every public figure that ever does anything wrong that you disagree with, is every one of them controlled op, some controlled puppet? Are we just in hell? We might as well give up. I can't stand these people that every single person is fucking controlled op. It's like nobody does anything good. They can't take a single W. Everybody is bad. Everybody is shit. Then why you even pay attention? If it's all done and it's all in the bag, why do you even care? Why aren't you watching Netflix right now? Why don't you just go watch Netflix? Don't comment. It's like, don't be in here commenting. If it's all done and every single person is bad and evil, then just give up. Just take the knee and open up your Dirt Star and prepare for a Fauci torpedo and wait for them to feed you the bugs. What the hell? It's like everybody has an opinion. He's in the skull and bones. Is he? Maybe. Maybe he is. Maybe, Jim. But as far as I can see, I'm living pretty fucking good as a result of what policies he's put into place in the state that I live in. So if he's skull and blobs or he's controlled op or whatever the hell you want to say, if they're all bought and paid for and everything is hell, what do you even pay attention for? You might as well just go live your life. Just go hike in the forest and just give up. It's like everybody has some opinion. Oh, he's controlled up. Go. Elon took control of Twitter, and Twitter, what is he, your savior? No. I just think that somebody that's speaking about free speech, that's supporting it objectively, as long as we can see for the time being, for the next 5 minutes, is probably good. Because he could have said, screw free speech, I'm going to buy Twitter, and I'm going to turn it into a leftist hole, which is what it already was. It's like, whether you like it or not, this dude fact-checked the White House, and the White House took the tweet down. To me, that's good. If you want to say he's a demon or whatever else, fine. Maybe he is. But that's a good thing. I'll take the W for now. Everybody, he's controlled. Good. Alex Jones is controlled op. Hell of a controlled op Alex Jones is. He's only been saying the same shit for 30 years. Yeah, he just woke up 30 years ago and they were like, let's make this dude control op. Let's delete him from every platform, remove him from everything, make him spit things that are literal, actual facts that come out 5-10 years later. That's the most complicated controlled op. 99% of people wouldn't even know what the word control op was without Alex Jones. But now he's controlled op. It's like everything is not controlled fucking op. People are living in a pineapple under the actual sea. But all right, it's like just take a win for one time. Oh, hell of a controlled op. Yeah, let's sue the controlled op for $2 trillion. Yeah, she's just a controlled op. Give me a break. It's like people have these hot takes. Oh, I heard it from my cousin's friend's uncle's buddy that lives under a bridge. He's an ex-Navy SEAL. He's got secret backside, upside down intel that he gets from Elon. It got paged to him from Starlink. He was in the Ukraine for 16 years. He lived in a pineapple under the sea. He lives in a torpedo. Like, what the hell are you doing? He lives under a bridge in Tennessee, but he's got a secret back door. Look, the flag has 3 stripes less. That means the military's in control, guys. The military's in control. Holy shit. During the election, they're like, don't worry, guys. Donnie's in control. Donnie's the real president, bro. Don't worry. He's got the military on his side. Donnie's got the military on his side. It's like, no, he doesn't. Donnie's got, don't worry, guys, just wait till, they're like, on election day, Donnie and Pompeo are going to rappel down from Air Force 3. It's Air Force 3, guys. You don't even know that it exists. It's so top secret that I'm going to put it out on Twitter. I'm going to put on Twitter that there's Air Force 3, guys. It's so top secret. My cousin's best friend was a Navy SEAL in 1946, guys. They're going to send Air Force 3 to the Capitol. Donnie, Pompeo, they're going to rappel down from Air Force 3, they're going to put the cuffs on Pelosi. She's going to turn into a lizard person. DePap is going to be there. DePap's going to be there. DePap is controlled up. DePap is controlled up. It's not really a hammer. The hammer is really the hammer of the deep state coming down on. It's like, shut up. DePap is controlled up, guys. Oh, it's just like, you don't know anything. If I had $1 for every person that told me that the military was in charge, I'd be fucking stacked to the gills. What the? Oh, Donnie's in charge. They're like, look, Biden's motorcade is going down Main Street, but the military is facing the other way. That means the military's in charge, guys. What the hell are you talking about? It's like, you're insane. Oh, don't worry, guys. It's all part of the plan, guys. Donnie's in control, guys. It's like you're living in a dream world of literal magic, but okay. Like, what the fuck? It's controlled up, guys. Controlled up. Jones is controlled up. DeSantis is skull and bone. DeSantis works for the deep state. Maybe he does. But that's a hell of a deep state operator that he's like, I think we should open the state up and you should be free to not wear a diaper at school. It's like, controlled up, guys. He's letting the kids learn again. The long pen 15 of the deep state extends out of the Santa Claus's chin and directly into your brown eye. And it's penetrating your brown eye. And it's like, give freedom to the parents. And they're like, controlled up. It's like, accept something. Like, what is wrong with you? You gotta understand, guy. Like, I can't tell you the dates. All I can say is June 4th. The hammer is gonna come down. Linwood, guys. Linwood's on the case. Linwood. I'll never forget, I watched Lynn Wood share on fucking Telegram like a screenshot of some shit where he's like the deep state's shaking in their boots, and it was like a fake, it was like a fucking screenshot of some like onion, like the onion of fucking like deep state intel, and he's like, dude, he's like, the Pope is a hologram, and I was like, fuck this guy. It's like, I'm so sick of this. It's like, and then people will be like, bro, you don't understand. They're like, the Pope. I'm like, I'm like, Jeffrey, you barely have a handle of your own reality, yet you know that the Pope is a fucking hologram, and you're proving it to me by some upside down fucking snuff film shot on a Nokia 3360 that's been edited on Adobe After Effects of the Pope like spinning into a vortex, and they're like, this is unequivocal proof. And it's just like go to work, like get a job, Jeff. It's like, what is wrong with you? But like, you don't understand, Bobo. It's like, no, you don't understand. They're like, for $10.99 a month, you can subscribe to this super secret group, and we'll tell you all the we'll tell you all the military cables from my friend that lives under the bridge. It's just like, if the military is in charge, if the deep state is shaking in their boots, I'm not sure that like XYZ upside down ampersand on Twitter and like upside down 5,000 characters like tilde upside down question mark on 4chan are going to just reveal military secrets that has the deep state shaking in the boot. It's like the deep state has like $10 trillion. You don't think they have the AI reading 4chan? You don't think they subscribe to your $5.99 a month subscription service so they could get deep state inside intel from some green beret that like is retired and lives like underneath a bridge in Croatia or something for the last 37 years? They have a fucking submarine. They're like, oh, he's on the submarine. This is it, guys. Just wait. And then 6 weeks later, they're like, hey guys, I just had to take a break. It's like, take a break? You told us the submarine was in the fucking water. It's like, here we go, guys. Gear up. It's like, what the hell was happening? And these are the same people that are just like, controlled up about everything. Oh my God. Everybody has such a hot take. It's like, all right, yeah, I guess, but like, no, like literally no. Literally no. You know what I mean? Oh, you gotta understand, Donnie's great-grandfather was friends with Nikola Tesla. He time traveled. It's in the National Archives. If you go 3 leagues under the sea, you will find a secret passageway that leads you under the Vatican, bro. And if you go into the Vatican, underneath the skeletons, there's a book. And if you open the book, it's written in Anunnaki. It's written in Sanskrit. It's in papyrus. Open up the book, but don't smudge the papyrus. There's a secret passage on page 45, Donnie, 45, they knew it in 1626, they knew it. And they'll use like all this gematria number bullshit, and they're like, take off, Houston, Texas, Houston, 7th letter of the alphabet, OU, bowling alley, 1, 2, 3, bowling, 12 pins, 12, strike, turkey, 4 strikes in a row, turkey. He ate turkey, Thanksgiving, it was written, Donnie's the president. And it's like, what the fuck are you on? And they're like, it's like, ah! Take off. It's like papyrus. Donnie is the like fuck. Like get a hobby or so. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like the truth is like slightly simpler than that, you know? They think they have like, they cracked this secret code. And it's like, nah, it's like, no, they hide in plain sight. It's like you watch a video, it's like, who's that gal that's like the most fit, like I think Doja Cat? You watch a Doja Cat video or like a Megan the Horse video, there's like a demon, like the imagery in the videos. And they're just like, yeah. It's like, you don't need to go to page 45 of the papyrus fucking journal underneath the Vatican. It's like, it's right in front of your literal face. They're just like, John FETTERBEEF is not currently residing on the Earth's crust. Vote beef. They're like Billie Eyelash says, choose beef. And then Kerry Washington's like, he's cute. It's like, cute. Like, I'll give you cute about maybe literally any other human man of Earth, but FETTERBEEF, that's your cute. Like, give me a more believable. She could have said, we could go Seinfeld. He's strong. He could lift 100 pounds right over his head. If she said he's strong and could lift 100 pounds right over his head, I would have given it to her. Yeah, he probably can. 100 pounds. But she's like, he's cute. Cute. Like, what? Like, cisgender man here paging in, cisgender, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I like what they got going on. I'm just saying, beef isn't cute. I don't know. I mean, ladies, feel free to chime in, but for Christmas sake, he's cute, ladies. His wife slays. It's like, what is wrong? I live in a steel mill. Good night. Crudité. It's like, they are hiding in plain sight. You don't need to read the papyrus. You don't need to go underneath the sea. You don't need to have a secret. You don't need to be with James Cameron 5 miles under the sea in a secret submarine. It's like, it's right in front of your face. They're like, here's FETTERBEEF and Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd. It's like, he's like, hey, John. Yo, you want to laugh? Look up John FETTERBEEF and Paul Rudd, and you tell me if you don't vombletini in your throat. He's like, hey, John. You can feel the awkwardness it's like written all over Paul Rudd's face. It is hilarious. Hey, John, been meaning to do this live stream with you. And John's like, Roe v. Wade. He's like, I support the demise of Roe v. Wade. I stand on Roe v. Wade. And Paul Rudd's like, it's like Paul Rudd's just out there collecting his good boy points. He's like, make me sexiest man of the year again. I need a movie. They're like their publicist is like, yes, Paul. Yes. But yeah. Okay. But yeah, look up FETTERBEEF and Paul Rudd. Priceless. He's like, oh, this is like a fanboy moment. Beef. He's like, beef. He's like, I Love You Man is my favorite film ever. Roe v. Wade. He's like, he thinks this huge smile on his face, and his wife goes, his wife goes, I haven't seen him smile like this in I don't know how long. He doesn't even smile like this for me. And I was like, she just said it. She literally said, like, I'm gonna tell you what she said. I'm gonna translating. She was like, FETTERBEEF is in a loveless marriage, and I'm puppeting him around to get him into a position of power so I can run him from behind the scenes. Because all I care about is power and influence and celebrity. Because I want to be a celebrity. Here, vote beef. It's like, vote beef. It's like, she's running the show. She is running beef, no doubt about it. But they're like, choose beef. It's just like, no. Literally, no. Choose beef, guys. Everybody get out to the polls and vote for a cute sack of Billie Eilish's beef. Hey guys, it's Billie Eyelash. I'm depressed and loaded with pharmaceutical pills right now. It's really important that we take care of our bodies and health. What's that line? Vote for beef. What? Like, It's like you watch these videos of these celebrities saying to vote for the person, and right beyond the camera is like, you know what I mean? That's what it looks like. They're like, they got him like in a hostage situation. And they're like, okay, Billy, tell him to vote for beef. She's like, okay. They're like, we'll make you rich and famous. And they'll come out and say it too. She's like, I'm depressed. And everyone's like, oh, Billy's like I want to be just like Billy. It's like, no, you don't. I bet you she would trade that money and influence away in a heartbeat to just be a normal person with friends that loved her, you know? I don't even mean to dunk on Billy, but you understand what I'm saying. But all right. Oh man, we are in trouble. I think Cher made a video today. It's like, oh, like who was waiting on the sidelines for Cher's opinion? It's like, oh geez, guys, Cher has entered the chat. Let me switch my phone. It's like if you're being persuaded by Billie Eyelash and Olivia Rodrigo. One of the funniest things I've seen in recent months was when Joey Basement had BTS to the White House. It's like a Korean K-pop band or something, and he brought them to the White House for Stop Asian Hate Month or something. And like, I did a little bit of research on BTS because I made a video about it, and it was like. And it was like there's however many members of BTS, like 6 or 5 or whatever, it doesn't even matter. But there's like 6 members or 8 members or something, and only one of them speaks English. And like it's debatable how many of them even understand spoken English like fluently enough that somebody could say something to them like in real time and they could process it and be like, yes. So there's like one dude that speaks English and understands English, and the other guys are like, they don't even know what they're doing. They're like, and Joe's there, and Joe is there, and he's like, yeah, I love you guys. He's just like, thanks for coming to the White House. And the one guy's like, thanks for inviting us. And all the other guys are like, they don't know. They don't even know what they're doing. They're like, yeah, do we sing or what is this? And they're like, no. Just sit there and be Asian. You know, that's what they do. They're like, be Asian and don't say anything. That's like what their job was. No, just Asian it up over there. It's like, whoa. And the one kid is just like, oh my God, what is this? Joe's talking and it's like, wah, 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 wah. And the one guy is just like, he's like, thank you, President Byron. Thank you for inviting us. They got a sign in the back that's like written in whatever Korean. It's like, stay Asian and smile. Remain Asian. I can see it's like a to-do list from the White House. It's like the one kid has like 12 talking points written in English, and then everybody else just gets one sheet on White House letterhead in Korean, and it's just like, remain Asian, smile. Two-pronged attack. They're like, got it. They're like, you will get fed after the, you know what I mean? Be Asian. They're like, yes. No problem. They're like laughing about it. And they're like 18 or something. So they're just like, what the hell are we doing here? But yeah. But we're doing great, guys. Of all the people in America, of all the Asian American citizens, of all the people in America that do great things in the Asian community, that could have been the poster child of stopping Asian hate, they chose a Korean K-pop group that lives in another country when they could have just identified perhaps some leaders of business or thought leaders here in America that were Asian, that happened to be Asian. But okay, you know, this is a perfect example. They're like, who could we get that won't make a face when Biden vombleby tunas out of his face hole? And they're like, what if we got 6 guys that don't understand English? And they're like, perfect. Perfect. And they're like, can we uninvite the guy that does understand English? Could we tell him that he has the corona clap and get him not to come? And then they would just have them like actually speak Korean or whatever, and they would translate it for us, and they would be like, thank you, President Joe. You are brave and strong and young and brave and smart and brave and strong, and definitely not corrupt. And they'd be like, look, wasn't that nice of BTS to visit the White House? Wasn't that so nice of BTS to come down? And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would be like, today, BTS echoed what all Americans are thinking. Joe is strong and young and strong and brave, and not corrupt and strong and smart and brave and young and brave, and definitely not incontinent and also smart, young, not corrupt, brave, strong, smart. But do not question him, or he will have a stutter. He has a stutter. Somebody said switch mic input. I don't know what that means. But yeah. He's strong and young and brave, and strong and brave and young and not corrupt. Yeah. I'm kind of a big deal. I love, dude, the people on tSuNaMi are just absolutely bonkers. It's like every time I look over to the comments, it's like one of the 3 comments is like, bad orange man, bad man is orange. Orange man is orange and bad. It's just like, dude, I don't even think I said his name one time the whole stream. And like 2 hours and 2 minutes in, they're like, Donnie. It's like, literally, whom hurt you? Literally. Literally, whom hurt you? I saw a couple more Instagram badges come in. Thank you so much. Nick Davis, Dub 4, Nutrition with Vita, Bellabon 2022, Becky Cunard, Jiminy's Juniper, Marson Statura 21. Thank you so much for the badges on Instagram. I appreciate it. Lana on TikTok, spare parts, aren't you, bud? That's OG. That's OG commentary. Very funny. So tomorrow night, there's a lot of live streams. I know Daily Wire's doing one, Crowder's doing one. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of coverage on TV. I know a couple friends of mine are doing some. But I do plan on going live tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to be live for freaking 8 hours like all these other ones are, but I will jump on periodically. My plan at the present moment is to watch along with you guys, and every time I see something worth note, I will bring it up and I'll do a live on here. I would like to live stream right here so I can do the tSuNaMi, the Instagram, the TikTok, or the Facebook, the YouTubes, and the Getter. If I do use my phone, if I use my one phone, it'll only be Instagram, so I'd like to do all of them if I can. It'll be tomorrow night around election results time. So probably somewhere around the 8, 9 o'clock Eastern time zone, maybe somewhere around 10 or 11. I'll just jump on whenever I find it to be interesting or I have something to say. I know there's so many different streams going on. So I'll just chill and watch it with you and come on whenever I feel like it. I'll let you know what the times are. Jones is doing one. Nice. Literally. Yeah, red wave, blue tSuNaMi. Who hurt you? Literally, who? Whom? Yes. Yes, I am looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow as well. I got a little spicy on the stream today. My deepest apologies. Definitely threw out a couple of curse words. Probably not the best, but I was losing it. Yeah, doing the swears on the stream, definitely not good for the monetization. they don't like running ads if you talk about things like that and say those things. So definitely got clapped on that respect. But I do appreciate all the people that bought the badges and people that sent in the Venmos. It's much appreciated. And everybody that goes in on bobbysauce.com and buys the merch. I really appreciate it. Another reminder, I have eight live comedy shows coming up in the next 30 days. I am opening for Chad Prather next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in Southwest Florida in Port Charlotte. So come out and check us out live. Myself opening for Chad Prather. It's going to be good. I started writing it up this past week, and I got some good stuff. So if you want to see some live comedy, I will be in Port Charlotte in Florida next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The tickets are on bobbysauce.com on the schedule page. Go to bobbysauce.com, go to the top bar and click schedule. You'll see all the tickets. And then I will be doing a 3-stop comedies tour in Florida called the Florida Man Tour with Terry McNeely and Mike Merck. That is in December. It is December 8th, December 9th, and I believe December 11th in Wesley Chapel, Florida, which is in the Tampa area, at Harry Buffalo, which is in Orlando, and then at the Boca Black Box, which is in Boca Raton, Florida, and that will be December 11th, I believe it is. It's Sunday night. And then I will be at Turning Point USA's America Fest in Phoenix the weekend before Christmas at America Fest. So if you want to see me do some comedy, next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Port Charlotte, Florida. And then 3 stops in Florida on the Florida Man Tour. You can go to tinyurl.com/Florida Man Tour or go to bobbysauce.com and click on the schedule up on the top navigation bar. Go to bobbysauce.com to support the channel if you feel so inclined. I really appreciate it. Go to followbobby.com and follow me on all the socials if you don't mind. If you're on Instagram and you don't already follow me, hit that arrow and make sure that you follow me on Instagram. I've been getting more active on Twitter lately and like kind of chirping at people like Rob Reiner because it's fun. And now I feel like I'm not going to get clapped over there. So follow me on Twitter at Bobby Sausalito. Make sure that you follow me on Getter, on Rumble, and get all the links to all the socials on followbobby.com, FOLLOWBOBBY. And then also check me out on the Tinfoil Hat podcast with Sam Tripoli. It drops tomorrow morning, Election Day. And everybody, please, please make sure that you go out and vote. Make your voices heard, spread the word, spread the knowledge, be a force for good. Blue tSuNaMi, guys. Vote for beef. Everything is trash. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. It was fun hanging out with you for 2 hours. I really appreciate it. After the show, please go to bobbysauceshow.com and leave a review. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Podbean, Podqueef, where all the pods are consumed. Go to bobbysauceshow.com and leave a review. I really appreciate it. All right, that's all for now. Thank you so much. Instagram, appreciate you. Thanks for being here. TikTok, thanks for being here. Facebook, YouTube, Getter, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow. Blue tSuNaMi, guys. Vote for beef. Vote for beef, fam. Vote for beef.